It's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Why do you do that? Because that's when you feel like a big dope. And they're the worst bumps you should be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Two more. Sometimes you reach out for that hot tag and you go ahead and make your own comeback. Knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling. And you're better off rolling in thumbtacks. AEW, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. One more. Sometimes you're distracting that referee. And the babyface he has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched to the ring apron. And you realize all the trouble you're in. Because it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Here we go, Bob Squad. November 11th, Hulu edition. 12th, 13th? What day? I have no idea when this show took place. But it really doesn't matter because I saw a 90-minute action-packed version on Hulu. Hulu TV. It's in the palm of your hand. Double claps. Here we go. It's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da-boo. Yay. What is going on, Bob Squad? We are bushwhacking our way through the Hulu edition. The Hulu edition. Let me see if I can get this right. The November 15th, 2021 Monday Night Raw. The Hulu edition. Not limited enough commercial interruptions. Huh. This show took place. It happened. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good. It was different. And it kept enough of my interest because it was different enough from the other ones. At least some of the matchups were different. A lot of the new SmackDown faces are still new. Whatever I missed, whatever didn't make Hulu, keep in mind, I only saw one women's wrestling match. Bianca and Tamina, we'll talk about it. I don't know if Doudrop wrestled, or I think Natalia's on SmackDown, I forget. Or if Nikki Cross and Rhea wrestled two women with the tag team championship, Zelina, Carmella, something like that. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. I didn't see any 24/7 stuff with Reggie and Drake Maverick and everybody else winning the thing. I didn't see any Karrion Kross because he won't get vaccinated. So I didn't see a lot of things. Who knows? But this edited version, this 90-minute action-packed version, wasn't too bad. Let's jump right into it. I really don't have much business to talk about. So we're going to jump right into this bad boy, this Mamma Jamma, this Vincent Gambini Bob Squad. Let's talk about Hulu's Raw. We open up with a advertisement saying, Raw on Hulu was brought to us by Taco Bell, which cannot be more appropriate. Throughout the course of this program, we want to remind you that this program was brought to you by diarrhea. Thanks. I'm 12. The show opens up with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, and then there is a recap. Kevin Owens and Big E. Kevin Owens wants Big E to believe him, and he's mad that Big E is hurting his feelings. These are the main event wrestlers. Then there's a graphic, which is the first time hearing about this, that tells us that Big E and Roman Reigns will wrestle at Survivor Series, which apparently is this Sunday. I did not know that. I was unaware that the Survivor Series is this Sunday on the Peacock Network. I liked Serious Big E because Big E's serious. He's not completely changing who he is. He still has a little bit of pizzazz, but he's letting you know he's not joking around. So I liked it. But he talks, and then Kevin Owens talks. And there's some talking. Big E goes to fight Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens goes somewhere else. And the Usos, who are not on this program, the Usos show up. And they attack Big E, and then the camera shakes too much. And the camera was way too shaky. Because they do that annoying thing where the camera has to shake on every punch when someone's getting beat down. But the problem was, for every one punch an Uso was laying down, the camera was shaking twice. So that makes even less sense. So that doesn't even work. It's like their rhythm was off. Sonya Deville shows up and makes a tag match. By the way, this opening segment was 4 segments. And it was like a half an hour's worth. Sonya Deville makes a tag match, and she emasculates all these giant men. And then Seth Rollins walks past her, and he prances around in a fur coat, and Sonya just lets him walk by and ruin the match. And then there's a beatdown. Oh, Matt Riddle shows up. Excuse me, Riddle. Oh, so I wasn't even trying to be goofy there. I just forgot for a second. So anyway, somehow this becomes the team of Big E and Riddle, because Randy Orton would not get involved, versus the Usos. And it's a tag team match, and nothing really happens until Seth Rollins interferes, because he walked right past Sonya Deville after she emasculated all these giant men. But the guy in a fur coat can do what he wants. Explain this to me. Why he's not put in his place. But all these giant brooding men, Big E, Kevin Owens had already left, Big E, the Usos, and Riddle with his MMA background are all told what to do by this lady in a suit. Whatever. Seth Rollins calls a DQ for this impromptu tag match, so what was the point of that? But then we come back from break, and it's a 6-man tag match because Randy Orton has arrived. He decided to get involved, so it's Orton, Riddle, and Big E versus the Usos and Seth Rollins. The Usos have no reason to team with Seth Rollins. Big E has no reason to team with the RK Bro guys. But nevertheless, somehow there's chaos. There's pandemonium. There's debauchery. We got Debbie Downers, Negative Nancys, Party Poopers, Doubting Thomases, Peeping Toms, Prickly Petes. We got Weirdos, Wackos, Sicko Psychos, Nymphos, Pornos, Pyros, every kind of there is. Cheerio, Eskimo, it doesn't matter. Seth Rollins rolls up Riddle for the 1-2-3 somehow. And Big E is very angry, and he insists on giving an Uso his finish because he is mad at Roman Reigns. And apparently, last week on SmackDown, Roman Reigns beat up Xavier Woods and put Woods' crown on his own head, on Roman's own head. So, is Roman also the king? Is Xavier Woods still King Xavier Woods? I don't know. I don't understand. But of course, that silly crown had to have a WWE logo right in the front. I know branding, but also it looks stupid. We're already watching the show. We lose. You got us. Blonde ladies are busy tonight. A blonde lady's talking to Tamina. Nope, I'm wrong. A blonde lady's talking to Bianca Blair. Bianca Blair was good. Bianca Blair was good here. She was natural. Tamina walks in and says, "You're going to wrestle me instead of Doudrop, even though you're mad at Doudrop." Bianca says, "Yeah, okay," and then skips out through the entrance. And then the crowd, there's a shot of the crowd, and there's a guy wearing a Megadeth shirt. And by the look of his face and his hair, he did not necessarily need to wear a Megadeth shirt. I just would have assumed. And then another blonde lady, before this match happens, is talking to Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens said that he lied 90 times. He's a liar, liar, pants on fire. And then Finn Balor tells him, "We're going to wrestle." So twice in a row. I don't even know if it was the same blonde lady, because there's a Mackenzie and there's a Sarah Schreiber. I don't remember. I think they were both there, but I couldn't tell you which one did what. A blonde lady said to, blonde lady held the microphone. LKO said he lied 40 times. And then Finn Balor says, "Hey, you're going to wrestle me." So they did the same segment twice in a row. Someone's being interviewed and someone walks up and the announcer walks away. And a wrestler informs another wrestler they're about to wrestle. That doesn't make sense if you do it once. Why would you... Because they were playing it as though Adam Pearce had instructed those wrestlers to go tell, especially with Finn Balor's and Kevin Owens' case, that Adam Pearce had instructed Finn Balor to go tell Kevin Owens we're about to wrestle. What world does that make any sense? Hey, go tell this guy you hate that you're about to fight him, but don't fight him, and hopefully he doesn't fight you in the back, because we want it to happen in the ring. Why would you put the wrestler in charge of that? Because they have to neuter the wrestlers at every... Look, they're gophers, too. Christ. Yeah, I don't know why no one's over. There's no stars. Oh, okay. Did Hulk Hogan be like, "Hey, pardon me, Dino Bravo, but we have to wrestle later"? No. Fuck you. That didn't happen. That's Sean Mooney's job. Bianca Blair wrestled Tamina. This was way better than I thought it was going to be. Bianca Blair had her working shoes on, and she usually does. She works very hard. She was athletic. She got good stuff in early. She was bumping. She was selling. She battles out of a chin lock. And really, I mean, I should have thought deeper into this, and I didn't see it coming. She's feuding with Dewdrop, who was a big gal, and they need to put any other above average sized uh, woman wrestler against Bianca to be like, look, if she can do this to so and so, she can do this to Dewdrop. Now, if Nia Jax was here, of course, it really wouldn't make a difference because if Bianca, they would just have Nia beat Bianca. So, or it would be a fluke roll up or something. But then they fired her for not getting vaccinated. So who the hell knows? But Tamina was basically the only choice. So and Bianca hit her finish effectively. It looked good and safely on Tamina, and I was impressed. I'm coming back on the Bianca bandwagon. I was on it forever in NXT, and then she got called up, and I was off it. I'm like, this is over. They ruined her. And then she had some losses and some goofy things going on when she first got to Raw, and I'm just, oh Jesus, Charlotte didn't do her any favors, so I'm like, oh boy. But Becky managed to elevate Bianca while still holding on to her own title, and I wouldn't say elevate, but keep her alive. But people like Bianca. This was great. So she nailed that finish. 1, 2, 3. I haven't done a crazy star system in a while. I think it's because I make them up and they don't make any sense. Match gets 17,000 stars. Don't question the system. Oh, Bianca, Dewdrop comes out. Sounds very rehearsed, and she says, I'm British. And then Bianca Eastern Standard Time, I forgot to call her that. Oh, Bianca, you're 3 hours ahead of the world. Bianca Eastern Standard Time lost an eyelash, and she knew it too when she just pulled the damn thing off. She didn't take the other one off. And you'd think it would look kind of goofy, but sometimes, like when the women finish a wrestling match and they're so made up so perfectly, like that looks goofy. Like, um, I don't know. It was good to have, even though it looked a little goofy, where one eye does not look like the other eye now. Still, it would look really dumb if it was just hanging off. So I think because yeah, I saw Bianca take the damn thing off, and she just kind of laughed it off, like, all right, which is the perfect thing to do. You're the baby face. She'd be like, hey, egg on my face. You got me. So cool. Yeah, that's the perfect thing to do. She didn't get all subconscious and weird about it. She's like, hey, hell with it. And I'm a wrestler, goddammit. I'm here to beat ass. So there you go. So I like this. Maybe you want to see just Bianca versus Dewdrop, and we're not going to see it at Survivor Series. I think Bianca's on that team, and Dewdrop isn't, which leads me to believe Dewdrop will cause Bianca's elimination after Bianca goes through at least two, if not three, of the SmackDown. Blah 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 blah. Let's see if I'm right. It's this Sunday, apparently. Becky Lynch. Speaking of the ladies, she comes out and she recaps what Charlotte Flair said on Friday. And Charlotte Flair said some things, and then Becky said some more things. And now Becky has to just kind of babyface promo against Charlotte. But Liv Morgan comes out, and now Becky has to switch back and be a heel against Liv. And verbally, this does Liv no favors, because Liv has to do the recited, rehearsed stuff, just as we saw with Dewdrop and Bianca. Liv has to do all the rehearsed stuff, and then Becky can just talk naturally. So, uh, doesn't have them both be rehearsed and sterile, or none of them. But yeah, it was a little bit of a mismatch. I don't remember how this ended. Oh yeah, there was some kind of physicality. I'm talking like them now. Good God. Some Becky went for a move and Liv wiggled out of it, and Liv held up the title. Can't say belt. I can say belt. She held it up, and Becky got very upset that Liv was holding up her belt. Oh, and Liv Morgan, because she can't really talk she doesn't talk badly, but it's just so bland and rehearsed. She's one of the newer ones that they just don't trust or whatever. She basically says a bunch of rehearsed stuff and then yells bitch, like, or you're a big time bitch. It's always like a 10-year-old's like insult. And you're not a big time Bex, you're a big time bitch. Like we're not in the sixth grade. What the hell are you doing? Like, just because the word bitch is in there doesn't mean it's good. It's still gonna sound lame because it's name calling. I think that's a Vince McMahon thing too. He loves name calling humor, like playground stuff. Let's make up a dumb name and call the person that. Like, adults don't do that. But anyway, and of course, Becky, I would get on, I was getting on Charlotte's case for no selling everyone else's promos against her. Becky rightfully had to brush that off because it was stupid. And Liv sounded stupid doing it. They got a cheap pop, but doesn't. Long term, no one's going to care. But Becky still. Also, she didn't have to sell it because she knows that at the end of the segment, she's getting like tumbled around and Liv's holding up her belt. So Becky has to play the fool and have Liv get one up on her at the end of the segment anyway. So Becky doesn't have. But if the end of the segment was bitch, then I guess then Becky should have acted mad or upset or whatever, which would look foolish because then there's name calling from a baby face and the heel is pouting over name calling. That's very silly and stupid, but and just very fake. But Becky knows she's losing in the end in this segment. She does not have the upper hand. She will be the foolish heel. So she doesn't have to sell the stupid bitch name calling. She can just go, hey, she got knocked on her ass, and then, hey, put my belt down. Don't knock me on my ass. I'm big time Becky, whatever the hell. Anyway, enough of that. Orton. I'm just explaining the difference between the way Becky does it and Charlotte does it, okay? One of them is doing business. And I was the biggest Charlotte supporter forever. And I still am as long as she's wrestling, but she doesn't sell anybody's shit. Orton and Riddle are backstage, and Orton's yelling at Riddle. And then Rey Mysterio and Adam Pearce are backstage as well. Adam Pearce makes the Rey Mysterio versus Bobby Lashley match. These two are both on the Survivor Series team now together, so the guy in charge thinks, like, similar to the Fatal 5-Way with the women last week, the guy's saying, hey, the people in charge of this show and the storyline are saying, hey, are you all teaming up in a big match where we want to represent this brand or this show as best as possible? Let's have you kill each other. None of that makes any sense. They keep doing it. And also, Adam Pearce, again, is in charge of both shows, according to this story. So on each show, he's stacking one against another, but he's really not stacking anything. Indianapolis. Okay. So whatever the hell the football team is for Indianapolis, I don't know. I don't watch football. They got all the players there, and they reward the guys with Indianapolis 316 Stone Cold Steve Austin related glowing skull t-shirts. And I just made a note. The reason I wrote it down on my notebook here is another example of how it makes their current stars look dumb. They're clinging to the Attitude Era, and I'm the Stone Cold Steve Austin is he's on my Mount Rushmore, my favorite 5, or who I think is my favorite, who I think is the greatest 4 in my lifetime. Austin. I guess I might as well do the others because I said so. Savage, Taker, Brett would be my other, and Austin would be my favorite 4 combined with, I know that Flair and Michaels aren't there, and I don't know what to tell you. I'm not really a big Rock guy. I'm more of an Austin guy, but that's another story for all of it. Whatever. If you got to pick 4, you got to pick 4. Anyway, what's my original point? Yeah, Austin's terrific, but do you notice they don't give the football players Big E related merchandise or even Roman Reigns merchandise or even Brock Lesnar merchandise? No. Nope. Stone Cold Steve Austin, who doesn't wrestle. I'm sorry, he doesn't wrestle anymore. I love Steve Austin. He hasn't wrestled a match in 18 years, and he's not going to again. So it's done. It's over. But it's just reminding, because they know the football players are only going to want to wear Attitude Era stuff. Good God, and those guys would have been 5 years old, by the way. So yeah, we're just worshiping an era. It's not good. It's not good, but I wanted to make a note of that. Kevin Owens wrestles Finn Balor. This is very, very, very good. Very good. 2 great wrestlers. I love watching Kevin Owens. When he wrestles as a heel, he knows how to wrestle as a heel without when he's not technically cheating, he knows how to take those shortcuts combined with viciousness just to let the viewer know who's never seen anybody on his show, oh, that's clearly the bad guy. Because the way he wrestles, he's taking cheap shots, he's taking shortcuts, he's letting the referee get in the way. I always say that I've said it before, I'll say it again. A heel has two weapons in every match: the ref and the ring. You have two weapons. And Owens he was using a ref more here than a ring, but yeah, it was great because he was letting people know with his dirtiness, I'm not a good guy anymore. But he's not technically cheating, but he's bending those rules. But he's not cheating, and he's being extra vicious. It was very good. They have a great back and forth. I think Finn got crotched on the rope to protect him just a little bit. Owens hits that stunner, and I was thinking that's going to be tricky because just like I talked about Stone Cold with the Indianapolis 316 shirts, people see that stunner, they pop every time. They love that move, but they have to start hating the guy doing it. And I think Owens did the best. Kevin Owens did the best possible job of making people hate him, despite the fact he's going to do a move that everyone goes bananas when they see, because it gives them warm and fuzzies. And it worked. And he hits that stunner, and he gives over Finn 1, 2, 3. We talk about Dallas. WrestleMania is going back to Dallas, and we got to show 98 clips of The Rock and the Pyro. See my Austin, Indianapolis thing from 2 minutes ago. So that's that. And then the Undertaker in his howdy doody voice says, "Oh, we're gonna blow the roof off the place. I'm the Undertaker. You're the Undertaker. Talk like the Undertaker, or don't. You shouldn't be that. You shouldn't be on there, just hanging out in a hat and a beanie, like a spring coat. What the fuck are you doing, Mark Calloway? You're the Undertaker. It's over." A blonde lady is talking to Bobby Lashley. He's very angry and muscly. Rey Mysterio wrestles Bobby Lashley, and something happens. Yeah, Rey Mysterio and Bobby Lashley have a good back and forth match. There's a couple of wonkiness. There was some stuff Rey got caught in where they were trying to wiggle the way back into it and everything else. But it was still very good. People cared about Rey. They feared for Rey's safety. I think the audience was caught up in the danger Rey was in, and Rey was still doing awesome things. So this is very good. Eventually, Rey does get caught. He hits a splash, and Bobby is getting pinned, but he rolls out of it with Rey in position, and he switches it to his full Nelson somehow. Rey is done, and Dominic gets his dad out of the ring, but does not get beat up by Lashley again. And then we think the show's over, because I thought this was a weird choice for a main event, but a blonde lady is talking to Adam Pearce, and Pearce says he's going to remove Rey Mysterio from the he goes out to the ramp and says, "Rey Mysterio, now you're out of the Survivor Series," and everyone boos. And then that Austin Theory idiot, what was he doing? I think he was taking a selfie with who did he beat up? Did he hit Dominic with a move? Or just Rey? I forget. Or he's back there. Who the hell knows? But anyway, Adam Pearce says, "Austin Theory, you take selfies with people. I like your style. Because that's your whole character, so that means that's the only thing you ever do or say is take selfies, because you can't have any other dimension, because it's Raw, and it's Vince McMahon. So Austin Theory, you're the guy who no one's heard of. You're going to be on the Survivor Series instead of Rey Mysterio, who is a future Hall of Famer, and everyone loves to see Rey Mysterio, especially with Jeff Hardy in a similar position, used in a very similar way on the other team. That would have been interesting to have Rey and Jeff do a thing, but it wouldn't be a long thing, and either one of them would be winning the Survivor Series, of course. But just it would be nice. Like, what if they opened with Rey and Jeff? You know what I mean? That would have been nice. And I like Austin Theory just fine, but I don't know. I didn't think it was a good call. It's my opinion. I'd rather Austin be not on the pay-per-view, but doing something else meaningful on Raw than just doing his selfie thing, and now he's in that silly... Because he's going to do a selfie thing, he's going to hit a move, maybe pin somebody, probably not, do his stupid selfie gimmick, and get beat. It's the Rumble. It's basically how they've been doing a Rumble for the last 20 years. Do your thing and get tossed out. So basically, he's going to do that now. That doesn't... And everyone's going to see him do it because it's the pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. But it was an interesting enough Raw to keep my attention. It went faster than most of these things for me. So I like that. A lot of blonde ladies talking to a lot of guys. A lot of that going on. I think I missed one. Seth was talking to a blonde lady. That one. Yeah, I did. And he yelled, Like, don't wake the baby or something. I guess he was going to get onto his bus. I don't know if he's one of those bus people or he's pretending to have one. I really have no idea. So that's what's going on there. Alrighty. I don't know if this is going to come out shortly before or after another fun boxing, but a fun boxing is coming. Maybe the video right before this, maybe the video right after. It is already filmed of the G.I. Joe, not exactly Lego constructs, 2 videos. Also part of the wonderful gift box our buddy Gojitron sent to me. So I thank you, Bob Squad, for joining me on the hardest part of the ring again. Uh, this one wasn't feeling so entertaining. I don't know about this episode. I mean, not for me. I'm talking about the episode. I'm talking about this podcast. Is I hate just telling you what happened. Um, Wrestling's in a weird place because I just covered AEW a few times ago, a few nights ago. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't make me too interested in Survivor Series. For I guess SmackDown is really the go home. They're both go home shows. The show before the pay per view. This is the Raw one. Um, I'll say this. I'll say this again. Here's what made it feel less important. We make this announcement about Big E and Roman Reigns, and maybe they made it earlier last week or on SmackDown. I didn't see it, so I didn't know. But I follow all the wrestlers on social media, of course, on Twitter, of course. You'd think I would have seen it once, so I'm assuming it was made last night. Roman Reigns is the biggest regular on TV star, so we'll take Lesnar out of it. I guess Orton is too, but Orton's not doing main event things right now. So Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman are the stars, right? And everyone but Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman show up for this angle. So it shows me that this match isn't even worth Roman Reigns working an extra night of the week. You know, it's like Roman won't bother. I could see Big E showing up on Friday this week, helping out Woods in a beatdown, or I know Kofi's injured, so I don't. I'm guessing, and I'm guessing. E and Woods versus the Usos, of course. Why wouldn't you do that, right? And I'm guessing. And then maybe there's a big brawl and RK Bro shows up out of nowhere and they do something. And because RK Bro have to wrestle the Usos, so the whole pay per view is champions matched up against each other, but none of these titles are on the line, and none of it means anything. So Roman Reigns and Big E are the champion of each show. They wrestle each other. Shinsuke Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion, and the U.S. champion is Damian Priest. They're going to wrestle. 2 baby faces, not doing much. I don't know why we're supposed to care. I'm sorry, guys. Charlotte versus Becky, although they're both heels right now, but people are going to be behind Becky on this one. But then we were supposed to boo Becky the day after and cheer Liv, who's got nothing going on. Sorry, Liv. Uh, yeah, RK Bro versus Usos, Raw versus SmackDown champs. And there's going to be a non-finish there, or they'll pin Riddle. But okay. But whether they're the bragging rights, no, there's no bragging rights. There's no bragging rights if half of the roster switched TV shows 3 weeks ago. Why would they have a connection? And the winner gets nothing. A little thing like, hey, oh yeah, so there's 5 men versus 5 men with SmackDown and Raw. 5 women versus 5 women, one Raw, one SmackDown. Okay. So what if the winners all get a title shot, or just the survivors do, or a title opportunity? If they get something, some reason to want to win this match. And hey, I was on SmackDown for a year, now I'm on Raw. I want to support Raw. Well, what the fuck do you care? Shouldn't theoretically your friends be on SmackDown? I don't even know if Finn Balor's in it as far as what is Finn Balor's motivation for fighting for Monday Night Raw? He doesn't want to be there. They made it known that he wanted to be in NXT and got out in time, thankfully. Oh, the NXT is still on air. Oh, Jesus. Okay, yeah, I think Survivor Series is what's wrong with this episode of Raw, more than this episode of Raw. The big question is always why. Why are they fighting? If pro wrestling was exactly the same format, but there were no champions,
Why would you watch it? Why are they fighting? What does the winner get? Winner gets nothing. The 88, well, let's take that out of the equation as an experiment. The 89, 90, and 91 Rumbles were for nothing. It was just bragging rights, really. They didn't use that phrase and beat us to death with it. But yeah, those three and a 4 and 88 too. Yeah, we'll count it. Whatever. Those first four Rumbles meant nothing, and everyone remembers that '92 one not just because Ric Flair and the Hour. They remember it because it was the first time the Rumble was for something, and it was for the biggest possible prize. Like holy crap, the winner will be the new champion. The title's vacated. So when someone gets eliminated, I'm thinking of the first couple of eliminations. Bulldog took DiBiase out early. That was a big surprise. I think Sags and Haku went out next. So even though everyone in the right mind knows Nasty Boy Jerry Sags is not winning the championship, when Skinner goes out, when Sags and Nikolai Volkov and Greg Valentine and Repo Man and Hercules and all these guys in that match go out, you start crossing him off the list like he's not going to be champion. He's not going to be champion. And ever since then, '93 was the first year that the winner got the main event of WrestleMania because you just can't vacate the title every December. That was a fluke thing, and thankfully they never did that again. They've come close with Roman had to defend it in the Rumble 1 year or something stupid like that, but they've never done that again. The title is vacant. Winner gets to be that champion. Winner is that champion, and they will someday. By the way, I guarantee you that will happen someday. The only thing that may stop it is they won't have 30 wrestlers because they keep firing everybody. Okay, my point is, why are we fighting? I don't know. We'll find out. How poetic. Why are we fighting in pro wrestling? Why are we fighting on the internet? Why are we fighting neighbors, brothers and sisters, cats and dogs? I don't know. Stop fighting. And if you are going to fight, don't do it on the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba da ba da